Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Jeremy, and today we're talking about worshiping by enjoying being together. Following Jesus is not a journey that we are meant to do alone. It feels like we've never been more connected digitally and more disconnected relationally. The truth is, we are not called to walk the path of following Jesus alone. We're called to do it together. I love that you're watching this Devo online. I love that we can watch a Sunday service in our living room. But when it comes to worshiping Jesus, the Bible has a lot to say about doing it together and not just alone. Let's check out Acts chapter 2, verses 46 and 47. The verses say, "So continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, they ate their food with gladness and simplicity of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people, and the Lord added to the church daily those who were being saved." We see a few powerful truths in these verses. The first is they continued going to the temple daily together and followed that up with eating a meal together in houses all across the area. The Bible shows us that the act of coming to church is a form of worship, not because of the building itself, because of what happens before, during, and after a service. I was a church kid growing up, and what I mean by that is if the doors were open, my family was there. Church was like an all-day event. We got there early to serve, we went to classes, and then it was a very, very, very long service. Nowadays, we're frustrated about an hour and 5-minute service. The average person only watches for about 8 minutes on a streamed Sunday service from their living room. So all of our attention spans have just shrunk. And I don't want to sound like the old guy complaining or shouting at kids to get off their lawn. The truth is those old services wasted so much time. They really didn't need to be that long. And after the service, we would go grab a meal with others from the church. So in an effort to streamline, many churches got rid of almost all of that stuff. And to be quite honest, some of that was a relief. But it may be possible that you and I stopped doing some of the really important stuff simply because it was too inconvenient. The Bible tells us that in that verse, the early church worshiped together daily and hung out with each other regularly. I want to encourage you to embrace the inconvenience and get you and yours to church. I want to encourage you to find somewhere in your local church to serve. And I want to encourage you to find someone in your church, grab coffee with them, and have a meal together. If you'll open your life to the idea of following Jesus with a larger group and not just walking that path alone, it'll enrich your walk with God and lead you to a more fulfilling church experience. The second part of that verse talks about praising God and adding daily to the church those that are being saved. The last thing Jesus told us to do was to win others for Him and to make disciples. For the last few years, many of us have taken a break from the Great Commission. I understand why, but I think it's time for you and I to start again. Let's be the kind of people who regularly praise God and regularly share the story of Jesus with others. I know this is challenging, and I know that it can feel a little bit scary, but your friends and your family are worth the momentary discomfort for the opportunity to get them following Jesus. So let's worship God together every single week. Let's build relationships with each other. Let's invite others into following Jesus with us. Thanks for joining us today on the Daily Devo.